All right, awesome. So thank you guys all so much for joining me. Again, this is going to be a 60-minute yoga for relaxation class. The idea is to use yogic movement, stretching, and breathing to enter into a deeper state of relaxation. So if anything feels like not relaxing, you know your body better than anybody. You can always just like take it easy and ease up a little bit. So we're just going to start in any sort of comfortable seated position that works for you. I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce, and if you want, you can always have a blanket or towel like slightly under your butt if that helps you sit more comfortably. And we're just going to take a little bit of time to check in at the beginning of class. So you can start by closing your eyes, sitting up a little tall, so reaching up through the crown of the head, let the shoulders relax. Maybe have your hands down on either knee. Take a slow inhale through your nose, and a slow exhale through the nose. Slow inhale through the nose. Another slow exhale through the nose. Slow inhale through the nose. Even slower exhale through the nose. Scan your body for any points of tension. Notice if the shoulders are tensing, maybe the hands are balled up. Really root down through the floor. Feel the floor holding you up. Check in with any lingering impressions from the day, any thoughts in the mind that aren't quite passing. So one of the gifts of yoga is it fosters a mind-body connection. Noticing how we move affects our mind and how we think affects our body. Again, take a slow inhale through the nose. And this time, exhaling through the mouth. Give yourself permission to let the day go away, to be here in this present moment with this breath in this moment. We'll begin class with a breathing exercise called 4-7-8 breathing. You might have done it before. I'll explain it and then we'll try together. So the general principle is you're going to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold the inhale for 7 seconds, and then exhale slowly for 8 seconds. So the exhale through the nose is twice the time as the inhale, and in between you're holding the inhale breath. Some things to keep in mind. You might have to inhale faster than you exhale, right? It should never feel restrictive. If you're having trouble maintaining your breath, then maybe change the pace a little bit. But in general, I'll show you, it'll be so the exhale is meant to be much longer than the inhale. To begin, you want to put your tongue at the space between the roof of your mouth and your teeth, the palate. You can swallow. Exhale completely. Close your mouth. And then inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slowly exhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slowly exhale, or inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and continue at your own pace. I got a little bit lost. Slowly inhaling, holding, and exhaling. As you breathe, notice any tension in your body. Notice if the shoulders are tensing up. Think about slowly constricting the throat as you exhale a little bit slower. We'll do 5 more rounds together. Whenever you're ready, on the 5th breath, returning the breath to normal, slow and steady through the nose. This trick of making the exhale longer than the inhale is there for you whenever you're having a stressful moment or day or life. Slowly exhaling through the nose helps to calm the central nervous system. It tells our body that there's no need to fight or flight. Return to this whenever you need, in class, but outside of the room as well. We'll start to move the body just by slowly stretching the neck. So stretching up through the crown of the head, rooting the hips down, and then slowly as you're ready, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Notice that I'm not mirroring you, so you're welcome to follow me based on what I look like or listen to my command, right ear to right shoulder. Let the left shoulder drop, left hip down. You can keep your eyes closed or do a soft gaze just beyond the edge of the nose. As you're ready, slowly tuck your chin in towards your chest, rolling down to the middle, chin to chest, feeling a nice stretch on the back of the neck and gentle compression through the throat. And then as you're ready, rolling left ear to left shoulder, stretching the right side neck. Drop the right shoulder down, right hip down. Chest up, hips rooted down into the floor. Noticing if one side feels wildly different or fairly even, knowing that there's no right or wrong. Okay, when you're ready, slowly bring your chin back down to the chest, again stretching through the neck, back of the neck, gentle compression to the throat, thyroid gland. And then as you're ready, rolling back up to center so your head sits tall on top of the neck spine. Next, we'll get the arms involved. So place your right hand on the floor beside your right hip and gently lift the left arm up overhead. Right away, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. You can look forward or slightly up towards the ceiling. Press down through the left hip, left shoulder down. You can keep your right hand on the floor. We're going to circle down towards the mat, keeping the hips on the floor, and then left hand on the floor to the side of your left hip, right arm overhead. Again, shoulders down away from the ears, right hip down, looking forward or up. You can keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze. Noticing any tension that doesn't belong. Make sure you're still breathing through your nose. Okay, and then circling back down, sweeping the floor with your right hand to floor, left arm up. Shoulders down. Maybe bringing the left hand closer to the right side of the room, or maybe easing up a little bit. If you don't feel something, go deeper. If you feel a lot, ease up. It's a general rule of thumb. You want more sensation and form than depth. Okay, and then sweeping back down through center, left arm down, left hand to the floor, and right arm up. Root down through the right hip as well as the left hip, shoulders down. I always have to remind myself of that. Shoulders down away from the ears, stretching the whole right side body. When you're ready, right arm down, sweeping the floor, and this time, put both hands in front of you. So a couple options here. You're gonna stay in your seated position, try to keep the hips on the floor. You're welcome to just drop your head and keep your hands on the floor. You're welcome to walk your hands forward. And this is also a nice opportunity if you have a yoga block or paper towel, you can always put your head like so. Just want to feel a gentle rounding sensation through the whole spine. Again, you can use your hands or arms to hold you up or have them on the floor. Try to keep the hips down, shoulders away from the ears, chin a little to chest, round the spine. Try to create space between the shoulders. Deep breaths, expanding the rib cage, stretching the back. Great, and on your next inhale, start to walk your hands back towards your legs, slowly rolling up into a seated position. Take a slow inhale through your nose. Stretch up through the crown of the head. Slow exhale through the nose, let the shoulders, chest soften. Great. From here, we'll go into cat-cow, which you may have done before. So I'll show you from the front and from the side. You're gonna come into a tabletop position, so hands about shoulder width distance, feet about hip width distance. And we're just gonna move the spine backward and forward. So to start in cow, you're gonna stick your butt up, drop your belly down, lift your chin, look up towards the ceiling. Maybe moo, you don't have to. And then as you exhale into cat, you're gonna tuck your tailbone under, root down through the palms, spread the shoulders apart, round your spine, chin towards the chest. Inhaling, dropping the belly down, try to keep shoulders over wrists, looking up towards the ceiling, shoulders back and down away from the ears, so try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring the belly down towards the floor, stick your butt up. Exhale, tucking the chin in, rounding the spine, try to stretch the shoulders apart, chin to chest, maybe looking towards your hips. And we'll do a few more at your own pace. You can go faster or slower, whatever works for you. You want to feel the spine moving, shoulders moving. Let's do 2 more. As you're ready, returning back to tabletop. Next, we'll do what's called threading the needle, and if this doesn't work for you, I'll give you another option as well. So to thread the needle, you're gonna keep your left hand on the floor. Again, remembering I'm not mirroring you. As you inhale, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, look for your right thumb towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, thread your right arm between your left arm and left thigh, maybe right shoulder to floor. You can keep your left hand on the floor, or you can lift the left arm up and wrap it around your right thigh for a half bind, trying to keep hips on top of knees. If this does not work for you, you can sit in a comfortable seated position and just do like I'm doing here. So straightening the right arm, bending the left arm. So you still get this stretch through the shoulder. Notice if the weight is in one knee, you're trying to even out your hips. Okay, if you're all the way in thread the needle and you have a half bind with your left hand on your right thigh, as you inhale, lift your left arm up to the ceiling and then place your left hand on the floor, exhale. And then as you inhale, everybody together, inhale, lift your right arm up to the ceiling, looking up. Exhale, right arm down. Other side. So as you inhale, lift your left arm up, looking up. And as you exhale, threading the left arm between the right arm and right thigh. Palm facing the ceiling. You can keep your right arm bent close to your face. You can also lift the right arm up and then reach it around, one day grabbing left thigh with right hand for a half bind. And again, if this doesn't serve you, you can always come up into a seated position and just stretch the left arm to the right arm bent, as I'm doing. Trying to even out the hips. Notice if the mind is wandering, return your mind to your breath. Okay, and if you have your hand in the bind, release your right arm up to the ceiling, right arm down by your face. Then everybody together, inhale the left arm up, unthreading the needle. Exhale, left arm down. Great, okay. Just take a moment, you can sit on your hips. That can be a lot of wrist work for those of us with sensitive wrists. You can just take a moment, have your hands together, and you can just move out your wrists a couple times. Great. So I'm sitting in what's called firm or Vajrasana with my hips on my heels. If this does not suit you, you're welcome to sit on your butt, crisscross applesauce, or with straight legs, whatever works for you. Here, we're gonna do one more wrist stretch. So this time, straighten your left arm out in front of you, like in Bikram, Mama Give Me Money. And this time, flip your index fingers down to the floor, wrist up to the ceiling. You can hold on to your left hand with your right hand and push back. So push the wrist forward, drop the shoulders down. Especially if you've been sitting at a desk all day and typing a lot, I hope this feels good. And as you're ready, releasing that, maybe shaking your arms out, shaking the wrists out. And then we'll do the other side, palm facing the ceiling, flip your fingers down to the floor, wrist to the ceiling, place your other hand on top of the palm, press the wrist away from the shoulders, shoulders down, chest up. Still breathing. Relax your jaw. Good, and release on that side, you can bring out the hands. Next, we're going to do 3 sun salutations. For those of you that have never done them before, I'll walk you through it. For those that practice sun salutations often, this is going to be a very gentle version of them. You are welcome to do like a more intense version if you would like, but I will walk us through a nice relaxed yoga version. So we're gonna come to standing. This is the only standing we do in class. Hopefully you can see me. Okay, so you're gonna come to standing at the top of your mat. I hope you guys can see me. Have your feet about hip width distance, arms down by your side. As you inhale, lift your arms up, look up towards the ceiling, palms together. As you exhale, bend your knees, put your hands flat on the floor. Knees can bend a lot, drop your head. As you inhale, halfway lift, you can have your hands on the floor or on your knees or shins. Try to keep a flat back. As you exhale, place your hands back down on the floor. Step your feet back into a plank. You can also be in tabletop, knees on the floor. Hold here. Okay. For those of you familiar with sun salutations, you're welcome to lower down into chaturanga from plank. I'm going to drop my knees to the floor. The important thing with this, hug your elbows in. In a push-up, elbows should be at a 45-degree angle. In a chaturanga, elbows in, chest down. And then we're going to slide up into what's called cobra or baby cobra. You are welcome to do full up dog where your thighs come off the floor. Otherwise, hug the elbows in, just a gentle heart opener, back bend. Okay, tuck your toes under, stick your butt up for down dog. You can bend your knees, moving one heel to the floor, lifting the other off. Drop your head, look towards your knees. Okay, look between your hands. You can step or float forward, hands between the feet. Exhale, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the floor or on the shins or knees. Good. Exhale, head down. Inhale, reach to rise, arms with your ears come up, and arms down. One of my lights is flickering. I'm going to turn it off. Okay. So we'll do that all again. I'm going to adjust my camera angle ever so slightly. So inhale, arms over your head, looking up, palms together. Exhale, bend the knees, going down, hands to the floor. It can be a deep knee bend, drop your head. Inhale, halfway, so from the side, you want to keep a flat back. You can have your hands on your shins and knees can bend if you need to. Exhale, hands down. You're going to step or float back. Again, you can hold in plank, or you can have your knees on the floor in tabletop. Rather than bending the elbows out, you're going to bend the arms in and lower down into baby cobra. And if you're feeling adventurous, right, you can do up dog, but make sure your thighs come off the floor. If your thighs are still touching the floor, bend the elbows in. As you're ready, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, down dog. Again, you can pedal out the knees. Maybe hips come off, heels come off the floor. You can take a bigger or smaller step, eventually heels down. Look between your hands, step or float your feet back down, drop your head, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the floor or on the shins. Try to keep a flat back, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop your head down. Inhale, root to rise, arms with your ears come up. Good, and arms down. One more time, just generating a little bit of heat partway through class. Inhale, arms up, looking up. Exhale, slowly lowering down, bend the knees, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, put your hands on the floor, stop or walk back, either into plank or tabletop. If you're ready, hug the elbows in, lower down. Baby cobra or up dog. Good, and then tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, down dog, ruff, ruff. Look between your hands, inhale, step or hop forward, drop your head, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice. Exhale, head back down. Inhale, arms up, root to rise, look up. Exhale, arms down by your side. Nice, wonderful. Okay, as you're ready, turn around. We're gonna be on the floor, lying down for the rest of class. How delightful is that? So as you're ready, you can turn onto your mat and we'll do what's called Puddle Pose. So you can have your head to the back or front of your mat, doesn't matter so much. So in a lot of yoga, when we lie on our back, we do what's called Savasana. And Savasana is pretty specific, like your heels are together, toes fall open, arms down, palms face the ceiling, eyes open, mouth closed, breathing normal. Perhaps you've heard me say that before. But for this in Puddle Pose, you can kind of like let your arms and legs out to the side. You can roll back and forth a couple times if it helps you get, like your butt or your shoulders out of the way. And then we'll just lie here in stillness. Partway through class, especially after the sun salutation, might have built a little bit of internal heat. Maybe the heart rate slightly increased. Notice even with this internal heat or a little bit more range of motion in the body, if you can sit still and truly relax into the floor. Let the floor hold you up. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. For the rest of class, we'll be doing Yin Postures, which are more passive stretching postures with long holds. Sometimes when we hold postures for a long time, thoughts, emotions, sensations start to pop up. I like to use the metaphor of clouds. So think of your thoughts or your emotions like clouds. Some of them will pass quickly and some of them will kind of linger, like heavy rainstorms. It's always important to remember that you are not the clouds, you are the sky. So as we foster our breath and our mind-body connection, we can start to detach a little bit from thoughts or emotions, still noticing them, not pretending like they don't exist, right? Just noticing without attaching or thinking that it means, something. Sometimes we just feel sad or happy for no reason, and that's okay. Take another slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. Okay. We'll do banana pose, always a crowd favorite. So you'll start with your feet together and your arms over your ears, arms over your head. And we're just gonna bring the feet to the right side of the mat and the hands to the right side of the mat. So from a bird's eye view, you start to look like a banana, stretching the whole left side body. Know that you can deepen this stretch by bringing your hands and feet further to the right. You can ease up by bringing them closer to center. You can cross one foot or one hand over the other, or you can keep them side by side, whatever works for you today in this moment. So we'll hold here for 5 minutes. Right away, noticing how this posture feels in your body. You want to feel a stretching on one side of the body and maybe gentle compression to the other side. Again, in the style of yoga I teach most often, Bikram 26 and 2 yoga. When we stretch, we'll often say things like, go beyond your flexibility, which is a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's a reminder in this class in particular, there's no need to overdo it. Less is more, right? With the long holds, sometimes moving a millimeter but holding for 5 minutes can be more intense than going super deep and holding for 5 seconds. And if you need to adjust at some point or wiggle a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Notice the difference between, oh, I think I went a little bit too far in the posture, I have to ease up, or, oh, I don't feel much, I have to go deeper. Like, that's fine, but notice if every 10 seconds you're having to adjust your shorts or, wipe sweat or something like that. There's a little bit of a nuance here between necessary adjustments versus trying to distract ourselves from our own stillness and discomfort. Remind yourself that this is yoga for relaxation. If you're not feeling relaxed right now, what would it take to sink a little bit deeper into the floor? Unclench your fists, to relax the toes, and yet to still be in the posture, to still stretch. Halfway through the posture, notice if you need to adjust anything with your hips or your shoulders. And remember, you can go deeper or ease up. Make sure that your desire to go deeper into a posture is based out of, a need for a stretch rather than a need to perform or to impress or to always go to that next step. Especially with Yin yoga, we're kind of unlearning the calisthenic aspect of yoga. Kind of relearning or delving deep into the mind-body connection, our ability to sit still and breathe. About 30 seconds left, maybe going a little bit deeper if it feels okay, maybe easing up or staying right where you are. And no right or wrong, going more for sensation than depth. Let's take 3 more slow breaths through the nose. Okay, and when you're ready, returning back to center, have your arms down by your sides, puddle pose. We'll stay here for a full minute. If you need to roll side to side, you're welcome to, and then just we'll hold still. A lot of times in yoga, we get just as much therapeutic benefit from the release of the posture as the posture itself. Feel your whole body recalibrating, realigning to the floor. Let the floor hold you up. Notice any shifts of perception, anything that feels a little different in the body, things that still stay the same. Right, we'll do the other side. So feet close together, arms over your head, and this time bringing your hands to the left of your mat and your feet to the left of your mat. Again, you can have your feet and hands side by side or cross one over the other. Remember that we're not symmetrical. This side or your needs on this side might be different. Notice, maybe on the other side you didn't have to cross your foot, but on this one you did. Be crossing the same foot on top of the other. Yoga gives us answers so that we can ask questions. So, I tell you to do banana pose, right? But then we get to ask a lot of questions like, why is my right shoulder tensing up? Why did I have my left foot on top on both sides, right? We start to ask some kind of interesting questions about our body, our mind. And we'll hold here for 5 minutes. Relax your jaw, your chest. Let your hips and hands, feet be heavy on the floor. Feel a nice stretch through the right side body. And bring too much is too much. Too little is too little. But for the sake of today, for the sake of yoga for relaxation, err on the side of too little is too little. Noticing any thoughts, any mental formations, emotional sensations. See if you can let them go, giving yourself permission to be in this moment, in this breath. We're about halfway through. Notice if you need to wiggle anything or adjust. Going deeper, easing up. Maybe just simply like sliding a shoulder away from an ear or recrossing the hands. Let your head be heavy on the floor. Picture this beautiful banana shape from a bird's eye view. Stretching through the whole right side body. Relax your jaw, let your shoulders and hips get a little closer to the floor. About 30 seconds left, maybe going a little deeper or easing up depending on your needs in this moment. And if you've practiced this posture before, just remembering that what served you last time might not serve you this time, right? Just an opportunity to check in and breathe. Do 3 more slow breaths through the nose. And after your last round of breathing, slowly bring your feet back to center, arms down by your sides. And you can roll out your hips and shoulders if you need to. Maybe roll your head side to side, and then just be still in puddle pose. Imagine your hands getting heavier. Feel the whole spine lengthening. All the ligaments just releasing, stretching onto the floor. So these long holds sometimes can feel intense, especially towards the end. They're good for working into connective tissue, helping our body to kind of support itself a little bit better in day-to-day life. Next, we'll do figure 4, which is a floor, back version of pigeon or swan. So start by bending your knees up with your feet on the floor. Keep your left foot on the floor. Bend your right knee to the right and place your left shin ankle area on top of your left thigh. You're welcome to stay here with your left foot on the floor, or as you're ready, lift your left foot off the floor and start to draw your left thigh, left knee closer to your chest. You can keep your hands down by your side, or you can place your right hand between right thigh, left leg, left arm on top, interlocking your fingers at the left shin and pulling the thigh down. We'll hold here for 5 minutes. Should feel a stretch on the outer right thigh. On the hips. And again, right away, if this is intense, you can ease up. If you have a tendency to go deep fast, just remember there's plenty of time. A friend once told me she thought Yin was like actually really hard for beginners because we're kind of left alone with our thoughts. So I just want to remind you that even, if you're home alone right now, remember that we're all practicing this together. You're not actually alone. And for those of you that haven't done this posture before, know that it can bring up some interesting emotions as we kind of release into the hips and chest. Notice if you're rolling to one side or if one shoulder or hip feels higher than the other. Imagine from a bird's eye view, shoulders and hips are flat. Your spine be heavy on the floor. And just breathe. About 2 more minutes. Notice any adjustments you need to make. Like if your right shoulder is uncomfortable right now, what would you need to do to release it? Again, you can ease up or get a little deeper. No right or wrong. Through yoga, we learn to trust our intuition, our instinct a little bit more. I think there's a little bit of a discernment factor as well. So sometimes I'll talk to people who say, like, I tried to do yoga and I just laughed the whole time. And I say, that's okay. If something feels uncomfortable, right? We often like laugh when we're uncomfortable, or like maybe you cry when you're happy or something like that, right? So whatever reactions you might have out loud or outwardly are normal. We're just kind of discerning, what feels real, what feels maybe like false, feels right for us, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. About 30 more seconds. Can go deeper or ease up. Do 3 more slow breaths through the nose. Okay. Gently return your left foot down to the floor if it was off the floor. Know that exiting out of this can be quite intense. Let your left foot sit on the floor for a second. As you're ready, bend your right knee up, touch your right foot to the floor, and then let both legs lower down, arms out. You can roll side to side for a minute or windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And then puddle pose. Think about lots of fresh blood circulating through your hip, your thigh. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. We'll do the other side. So bend both knees up. Right foot on the floor. This time, bend your left leg up off the floor. So left knee comes to the left foot to the right, placing your right ankle shin area your left ankle shin area just below the right knee, right thigh. You can keep your right foot on the floor, or as you're ready, start to lift the right leg off the floor. If you look down, you should see a 4 shape. That's why it's called figure 4. I should have said that on the other side. And have your hands down by your side. You can grab either knee with either hand. You can thread your left hand through left thigh, right arm on top, interlocking fingers. Whatever grip works for you. And again, right away, notice how this side might feel different. By the way, the fact that we're not symmetrical, there should be no judgment assigned to that. You might be asymmetrical for a very good reason, right? Like you had to have surgery after a car accident, but that surgery, saved your mobility or something like that. Or, one eye is a little differently shaped than the other. That's okay. Sometimes we think, oh, it's so bad that my left side is way tighter than my right side. But what if you just noticed without attaching? So rather than thinking like it's good that one side is more flexible, it's bad that one side is tighter, just saying like, my left side is tighter than my right side. And then let that thought go. Relax your jaw, shoulders, let your head and neck be heavy. Sinking the space between the shoulders down to the floor, hips lower, spine onto the floor. Let the floor hold up your whole back. About halfway through, just checking in, remembering you came here to relax. So what would it take to relax into this posture? It might not be the most comfortable posture, but can you still find some relaxation? Noticing if one shoulder or hip is a little higher than the other, if you need to ease up or go a little deeper, remembering there's no right or wrong, and it does not have to mirror the other side. It does not have to be deeper than the last time you did this posture or the same. It can be whatever you need in this moment. So take a moment to ask yourself what you need and give yourself permission to take that. Give yourself permission to be here in this breath, just for now. About 30 seconds left, maybe going deeper, staying the same, or easing up. Any final adjustments to depth or form? Take 3 slow breaths through the nose together. Remembering though you might be physically alone, you're here with your fellow yogis in breath and in spirit. All right, to reverse out, if you're holding on to your shin, let that go. Slowly allow your right foot to return to the floor if it's not there already. As you're ready, take your time slowly bending your left knee up, placing your left foot back down on the floor beside your right knee, beside your right foot. And then allow both legs to lower down, arms down by your side, puddle pose. And you can roll right and left for a second or windshield wiper the legs side to side if you need to. Last posture of the day is a spine twist. We'll only hold it on 1 minute for each side, a little bit less. So keep your left leg straight on the floor. Bend your right knee up. Place your left hand on your right knee. Slowly, as you're ready, roll your left knee down towards the floor on the left side body, knowing it might be very far away. You are welcome to place a yoga block, pillow, blanket, or paper towel roll underneath your left knee if that helps. You can stay here with your left leg straight. You can also take a variation, cat pulling its tail, where you bend your left leg and catch your left foot with your right hand. You can also straighten the right leg and hook onto, running into things, and hook onto your right foot with your left hand for an IT band stretch. Wherever you are, try to keep 2 shoulders on the floor. You can have your head flat on the floor or looking to the right ear on the floor for a neck stretch as well. You can just twisting out the spine. It can almost be like a chiropractic adjustment at the end of class. Take 3 more slow breaths. You're going to slowly reverse out. So if you have your right leg straight, release the right foot with the left hand, bend the right knee down. If you have your left knee bent, release the left foot with the right hand, straighten your left leg. You can place your left hand, your right hand, both hands on your right knee, and then slowly roll back down, hips down. Let your right leg lengthen, puddle pose. Let the hips open up, arms open up. And we'll do the other side. So bend your left leg up, left foot on the floor. Take your right hand to your left knee and roll left knee to the right side of the body. Again, you can have a prop underneath your left knee and let it hang where it is. Eventually left knee to floor, 2 shoulders on the floor. You can stay here. You can bend your right leg and catch your right foot with your left hand, 2 shoulders on the floor. You can stay here or straighten your left leg and catch your your left foot with your right hand for an IT band abdominal stretch, 2 shoulders on the floor. And you can look up towards the ceiling or look towards the left side of the room. The world is your oyster. Taking 3 more slow breaths through the nose. As you're ready to reverse out, if you have your left foot in your right hand, bending the left knee. If you have your right foot in your left hand, straightening the right leg. And then using one or both hands for support, slowly roll back. Left foot on the floor. Left leg down, 2 hips, 2 shoulders on the floor, puddle pose. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. Picture yourself in perfect, radiant health. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale through your nose. Know that you are loved beyond measure and worthy of that love.
Take a slow inhale through your nose. And this time, exhaling through the mouth, letting go of any lingering tension, anything that no longer serves you. Let's do that again. Slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. Letting go, giving in. One more time. Slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. Letting everything go through the exhale breath. Stay here in puddle pose as long as you like. If you have a blanket nearby, you can put it over you to stay a little warm and cozy.
Thank you all so much for joining in class. It means so much to know that we can all practice together. I love you all. If you have any questions, you can email me at hollyhancockyoga@gmail.com. You are welcome to take this class as a gift from me to you. You're also welcome to donate to me via Venmo at Holly Hancock or PayPal, Holly Rochelle H. Again, you are welcome to take this as a gift to me. If you are currently unemployed or under financial distress, I specifically ask that you do not donate to me. I know some of you are really generous, but thank you anyways. If you have any questions, again, let me know. I love you all. Stay in puddle pose as long as you want. Be well. Hope to see you soon.